A&B Communications.
Hi, is this Ann?
This is. Is this Carol?
Yeah, hi, this is Carol. Ryan wanted to have you on his show tonight.
Absolutely. I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay, they're in the middle of a break right now, but I can drop you on over onto the show, and he'll bring you in when he's ready. It should just be a minute.
Terrific. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bloop, 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 beep, beep, boop. Pop, I'm pushing buttons. Boop, beep,
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the third time that Billy Mitchell has tried to beat me up in public, and I'm not even sure how to make this any more clear. Billy, that's a different Ryan Token who also runs a podcast that said you cheated in Donkey Kong. I personally don't know anything about you, and I really don't care about some 40-year-old video game record that you claim to hold. I'm not that guy. Please, just leave me alone. Anyways, everyone, up next, we are going to talk to somebody who's contributed a lot of work to astrology journalism. We will be right back after this. And we are back. I'm Ryan Token. This is Reasonable Sanity Podcast. And with us today is astrology expert Annie Norris Bike. Welcome, Annie.
Thank you so much. I'm actually Ann.
Oh, is it Ann? Okay, the notes here said Annie. So, could you do a better job on the notes, Carol? Thank you.
We got everything else.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Because she got you down for astrologyand.com. That's right?
Yeah, astrologer Ann, like an astrologer, ANNE.com.
Carol, could you get that note better next time?
Yeah, astronomy, right?
We've been
astrologer.
It says astronomy here, ma'am. You're wrong. It's astronomy.
Yeah, we've been working on getting the communication issue worked out between us, so sorry about that. But outside that, we're very excited to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on, Annie.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So, I assuming these notes are right, I was told that you have contributed a lot to astrology journalism. Can you give us just, a 30-second to 60-second overhead of what you've contributed?
Absolutely. I've been an astrologer for multiple decades now. I also am involved with a newspaper in the city of Chicago, and I was their astrology columnist. And wrote an article, and as a matter of fact, that won an international award for covering one of the earlier mayors of the city of Chicago. That's Richard M. Daley, the son of the original Daley mayor. I also have won awards for my website and my astrology website and for the email newsletter that I sent. So a lot of work in local journalism as well as with an international impact. And in addition, I'm very excited to say, Ryan, that this year, I do a lot of deep research, and I had an article published about astrology in a prestigious academic journal as of 2022.
That is impressive. Thank you for stating all that. A lot of times our experts turn out to not actually be experts, and so to hear those credentials are great. So, hey, looks like we got a caller on line 3. Line 3, you're on with Ann.
Yeah, hi, Ryan. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, welcome.
So in my travels recently, I encountered a scary bald man who said he could tell me my future through astrology. He just needed my name. So I gave him my name, and he told me, in the future I'd become a throat goat, but he didn't explain any further. Do you know what that means?
Is that those cards? A throat goat? Is that one of those cards that they flip over, Ann?
This is not familiar to me. The only thing I would think of with a goat would be the sign of Capricorn, and the throat is associated with Taurus. But as far as what that actually means,
huge mega-mind brain, and he came up with this, but he walked off. And I asked him, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? And he pointed to his mouth.
Huh.
Wow, I have never heard anything like that. I must be honest with you. That's very unusual.
Did you Google throat goat? That might tell you what you needed to know. So it looks like our expert tonight doesn't know, but it looks like we got another question coming on line 2. Line 2, you're on with Ann. What's your question?
Thank you. Sorry, I'm currently traveling overseas in India, and I'm not used to the food, so you'll have to forgive me. So listen, I'm a big fan of the show, and I was calling because I didn't realize Ian had. I'm really into sports, football, soccer, and I didn't realize that you were actually one of the creators of the AstroTurf. Is that what you specialize in? The playing field material?
Well, isn't that a great question? But actually, I don't have a connection with AstroTurf, but I did actually predict the win when Philadelphia won. The Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
I was on a radio show and they asked me, and I just had a feeling. But I got to say, that's a one-off. I don't typically do that type of astrology.
Well, hey, thank you, caller. Sounds like you had a good face. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect.
Hope you feel better.
Yeah, I hope so. Ann, if you could hold tight, we're going to do a real quick commercial break, and then I got a couple more questions for you myself, and I'm sure the listeners do too. So if you could just hold tight. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hello, Little Billy. Want to try some new cereal?
My name isn't Little Billy, and what are you doing in my kitchen?
Well, I'm here to introduce you to Horsey Cat brand cereal, the only sugary cereal on the market that features South Korean K-pop star Horsey Cat in every box.
No thanks. I think I'm just gonna keep on eating my Count Chocula, please.
You don't need that crap, kid. Every box of Horsey Cat brand cereal will sing you the theme song when you open it.
It comes with a theme song?
It sure does, kid. Now go ahead, open it up.
I don't like that at all.
Come on, kid. Open it up a little more.
It's a horse and a cat. All in one. Has a penis.
No, I don't like this. Mom, who's this guy in the kitchen?
Oh, you stupid kid. Your mom can't hear you right now. Just open the box until the song is done, and this will all be over. Okay, Little Billy?
Okay, I guess.
Horsey cat is strong, a horsey cat is born. Horsey cat ride through the night, all night long. Horsey cat, yeah, horsey cat, yeah, it's a cat. And a horse has a horse's car, but the charm of a cat. You can pet it, and it will ejaculate on your hat. Oh, yeah, floor. It's the horsey cat, and we do it all night long.
So, Little Billy, what do you think?
You aren't gonna hurt me, are you?
Don't be silly, Little Billy. Plus, with all the fiber and vitamin D you'll be getting, I could barely put a dent in your skull if I started smashing you with this baseball bat.
Mom!
That's right. Run to the store and get yourself a box of Horsey Cat brand cereal today. You won't believe how anatomically correct each and every bite is. Tastes just like giant horse cock.
And we are back, and with us from astrologerann.com is Ann Horace Bike. Welcome back, Ann.
Thank you so much, Ryan. It's just a delight to be with you today.
Thank you. Yes, it's great to have you on. I hope that your Thanksgiving was wonderful. I know my Thanksgiving's going great.
Yes, me too. And we ate plenty. I'm sure you did too.
Oh yeah. Yep. Just like the caller. All right. Looks like we got a line one. Line one. You're on with Ann. What's your question?
Hey there. Hey Ann. It's good to hear you on here. I just had a question.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Like I just as an astronomist, I just wondered. Like, you know, they had that NASA's the James Space Webb Telescope, and it found the evidence of the carbon dioxide on a planet, on an exoplanet.
Yeah.
Like, does that affect your readings at all?
Most of what astrologers on planet Earth are looking at is things that we can observe from Earth. However, it's informed by those sorts of things. So most astrologers avidly watch anything that happens with NASA, particularly those remarkable images we've been getting from various telescopes in the recent decade or so. It's just amazing. But finding CO2 on another planet, it helps assist with the mystery as well as the unveiling of the mystery. So isn't that the coolest thing? But it sounds like it really struck you too, the CO2.
Yeah, I figured it probably made your readings clearer. Like, and like, is our psychics gonna get like super accurate? Astrologists and astronomers.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I will say I wanted to point out, since you said this, there's a difference between psychics and astrologers. A lot of people think that we astrologers are psychics. Some people are, but most astrologers actually are not. We work with data, like the exact date, time, and place of birth, to look at a birth chart and calculate that. A lot of math, a lot of geometry involved. But a psychic works very differently, and I think that might be what you're thinking about as well.
You guys talk to stars and they talk to ghosts. It's clearly a difference. Looks like we got another caller on line 6. Line 6, go ahead. You're on with Ann.
Yeah. Hey, is this Dr. Ann?
This is astrologer Ann.
I'm a Pisces, and I really need to hit the lottery. Can you tell me what the next lotto numbers are going to be that hits?
Okay, yeah, that's a common one. If you could go ahead and just give him the winning numbers.
Yeah, because I would just love to, win the $1 million. I got a number 2 pencil right here. I'm gonna write it down. Please. It's not funny. It's not funny.
I have to tell you that there are some astrologers who do that sort of work, a lot of psychics who might be able to help you with that. But I have to say, being truth in advertising, it's not a branch of astrology that I work with, that kind of forecasting. Most of what I'm doing
is... Are you real or are you fake? I mean, give me the numbers. I'm having a hard time right now.
Yep.
You're a Pisces. I will tell you, there's a ton of planets right now in a really difficult angle to the sign of Pisces.
Oh, that's nice, honey. Let me just go out with a telescope that I cannot afford. Give me the fucking numbers.
Okay. Carol, if you could disconnect that. I'm sorry, Ann. Carol, thank you, Carol.
I need to win.
I'm in such shock I can't hit the button.
Okay, hit the button, Carol. All right.
I'm going to hit it.
Sorry about that.
There's nothing.
Carol, hit the button.
I hit it and he keeps talking.
Okay. All right.
Ryan, if I could make a quick comment about Pisces.
Yes, please.
I don't know what might have been happening with our caller, but holidays can be stressful for people, and Pisces can sometimes struggle in particular at holidays. Also, it sounded as if this person, there might be substances involved, and that is a thing all Pisces need to be very careful about in terms of how they run their lives.
I've personally never met a Pisces I trust, so I agree with you. Looks like line 5. Line 5, what's your question for Ann?
Hey, Ann, this is Rachel. I am an Aquarius, and I was just wondering, I'm just always in my mind, who's pooping and peeing out there?
Who's what out there?
Who's pooping and peeing out there?
Out where? Could you be more specific?
Just out there, the big there.
Okay, they're just in general in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ann.
Wow. Did you say who's pooping and peeing in the world out there?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to answer that, actually. Do you mean in the stars? Well, maybe it's time for you to write a story about bears doing that thing up in the stars, actually.
Okay, I like it. You got it, Ian.
Hey, it looks like you definitely got a win out of this caller. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Looks like we got one more on line 4. Line 4, go ahead.
And from the day that I was born, I've always wondered, and you seem like you're an expert on these different types of things and stuff. Now, and I know that a lot of what goes on and everything has to do with perspective and where you are and how you look at where the things are and everything. So how is it that galaxies can look stationary, but I know that you guys all say that they are all rotating, and then within that galaxy, like can a star like ever turn into a planet, or can a planet ever turn into a black hole? And are there different types of black holes? And can gravity form waves? And does a black hole ever contain a singularity?
Ooh, excellent question. Anne, go ahead.
Lots of great questions, and also good things for you to do more research on if you're interested, but just a couple of quick things that I would say. Absolutely, a lot has to do with perspective, and so astrology in general, now not across the board, but the vast majority of folks are doing something called geocentric astrology, and so that's based on how stuff looks from planet Earth. So from where we are, things definitely look different than they would if you were out in the stars, or if you were out in a spaceship, or you were on another planet. So you're right, that perspective has a huge, huge impact. I would also say that the astrology that's been developed for thousands of years in cultures around the globe is very much
but like the star, what makes a planet, where it makes into where does a star come from, where does a planet come from, how do these things happen, where does the moon, how do these things go?
It comes from whatever your heart feels. That's what I believe.
You're a bad astrologer.
And the other, science informs a lot of what astrology talks about. And so whether you subscribe to the Big Bang Theory about the start of the physical universe, or you take...
Astronomy? Wait, you're an astronomer.
I'm sorry?
Astronomy.
I'm an astrologer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it looks like you got another happy customer out of my show. Thank you. Thank you, Anne.
Wonderful. You're welcome.
I don't know which way the future is, and I don't know exactly which way the past is, but I know I had a good time right now. So I want to thank you for coming on to Reasonable Sanity Podcast.
You're welcome. I had a blast.
I'm told my brother's calling in, and he had a question. Line 8?
Are you there? Yes, yeah, we're here.
What's the question for Anne? She's my guest. Nice to see you again. I wish you would have made it to Thanksgiving. Mom sure missed you.
Well, that's a whole nother story, but we have to talk because we got to talk about the money.
Okay. So Anne, we're going to pull you into this family problem that we have. We got this money that our father left.
Well, that's not important right now.
Let this junkie loser have it, and that's just the way it's going to be. Could you tell him that's the way it's going to be, and so says the stars?
Well, if Mom wasn't a goddamn idiot and would has spelt it out that, you don't have to have any control of any of this.
If you guys want to tell me your zodiac signs, I might have some more on-point comments to make.
Listen, lady, I didn't ask your opinion on this one. I'm asking about the planets and shit. Now, if this son of a bitch just leaves me alone, just ask the question, I can be on my way.
Look, Anne, I'm sorry that my brother pulled you into this big mess. The thing is, $500 isn't even that much money. He wants the $500 so he can go get some drugs. And I don't
an investment. No, that was an investment, and it just didn't come through. And sometimes in the stock market and things, it just doesn't come through.
Should have invested in cactus coin. Well, Anne, I thank you for trying to help me and my brother out. I'm sorry that this one didn't quite work out in your favor, but you were batting a couple earlier, so I can say good job to that. And thank you for coming on Reasonable Sanity Podcast. And to my brother Brian, fuck you. Mom doesn't even love you. I hope you know that.
Oh, fuck.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Carol.
Thanks, honey. Mwah, mwah, mwah.